do you ever find yourself caring about something that doesn't really matter? That's kind of how I'm feeling before recording this commentary, so just know that if you don't think this matters, that's kind of where I'm at before making this, but it is on my mind, so that's worth sharing? So, noob tubes have been a contentious part of the Call of Duty experience ever since their inception, but since Modern Warfare came out, I've been wondering, why the hell aren't these things useful? You can get a thermite launcher, a recon launcher, a flash and concussion launcher, as well as the classic explosive launcher. But these things really suck. In fact, you need 2 other things on your class in order to make the noob tube work. That is fully loaded as your weapons perk that has the noob tube, and then your tier 3 perk needs to be amped. Otherwise, switching to the grenade launcher and firing it and switching back to your rifle takes way too long, and without fully loaded, you only have 1 grenade. And 1 grenade is a problem in this context because 1 grenade doesn't do any goddamn damage, and these things don't have any goddamn range. In case you're wondering why, I can count the amount of times I've been killed by these things on the inside of my toilet paper roll. Honest to God, I have never seen somebody use a grenade launcher in multiplayer. Now, they do have some usefulness. Being able to lob a grenade quickly around a corner is a pretty useful ability. You can basically make somebody one shot faster than they can react. It's a grenade that they can't throw back, they can't run away from, and they get 0 indicators of. But it still has very little range, very little damage, and you only get 1 without fully loaded, and it takes forever without amped. When I did my video critiquing Modern Warfare's weapon design, I brought up useless attachments as one of the problems with the game. There's a lot of attachments that don't matter and you don't need to use. If I was designing a Call of Duty game where one of its biggest gimmicks is that it has the most customization out of any other Call of Duty game, filled with conversion kits and foregrips and just way more optics than any shooter needs, different stock attachments, lasers that do all different things, I wouldn't want any of that stuff to be useless. This game has a problem where conversion kits basically just transform a gun into a worse version of a pre-existing gun that didn't need a conversion kit to be the way that it is. If you guys want, I'll do a rant video about how I think most conversion kits in Modern Warfare are bad. But when it comes to the noob tubes, again, terrible range, terrible blast radius, terrible damage within that blast radius, terrible ammo count, and terrible reload speed. And then it also affects your weapon's mobility, aim down sight speed, and movement speed. Like, why would I run these? Contact. Well, for fun, of course, they do work. I don't want to act like they don't. I do think the explosive one is the most useful because you can just throw a thermite and have the same effect. You can just throw a flashbang or concussion and pretty much have the same effect, even though they don't explode on contact when you throw them. But really, the noob tube is the only thing in the game that you can quickly just activate, fire, forget, deactivate, switch back to a rifle faster than you can pull out an RPG. The difference is the RPG does this little funny thing called damage and is able to be used at this little funny thing called range. The noob tubes in this game should either have more range and less drop or more damage, because right now they don't fit in with the game at all. And yes, I am sort of advocating for more explosive and launcher viability in a game with terrible amounts of RPG and C4 and double nade spam. I totally understand the problem. For instance, I think there should be C4 indicators. You should get an indicator on your screen just like when there's a frag grenade nearby if there is C4 nearby. I also think that RPGs should be less accurate, but this video really isn't about the explosive spam problem in Modern Warfare. It's about an attachment that is just going completely unused, and it's because it's not useful. Fun and satisfying to get kills with? You betcha, but useful? Not really. There are so many cons to running it, there are so many things wrong with it, I don't know why you even bother adding them in the first place. If you upgraded one element of the noob tubes in this game, just one element, the velocity, the range it travels before dropping, the damage, then that'd be fine. Just one of those attributes would be amazing just because the other attributes are so bad it counters it out, and also the fact that you need amped and fully loaded to get the full noob tubing experience. It's sort of like the shotguns in Black Ops 4. Yeah, they were pretty good, but only if you dedicated a lot of your created class slots to them. So you had to give up a good amount to have a powerful shotgun, and in this game you have to give up a good amount to use a good noob tube. You don't get to use any other underbarrels, so hopefully your gun doesn't need a foregrip. It hampers your gun's movement speed and aim down sight time. Also, you only have 5 attachment slots in the game, and a perk counts as one of them for some reason, so yeah, you really have to decide whether or not that's worth it for you. But maybe the noob tubes are supposed to be sort of bad. They're supposed to be this thing that, hey, if you choose to use them, it'll be really satisfying to get any sort of kills with them at all, because they're terrible. And if that's the case, then, oh, okay, Infinity Ward, you win.
Alright.
But if you don't want them to be too powerful, why are C4s so powerful? Why is shrapnel in the game? Why is the RPG so strong? I'm allowed on one class to have an RPG and 2 frag grenades. You don't seem to have a problem with that, but you want to make sure the noob tube's useless. So it's sort of this puzzling design decision. One of the best cases I can even see for the noob tube is it's really good at opening doors that are farther away from you, or just noob tubing somebody point blank and instant killing them. I play a lot of hardpoint, and sometimes there's hardpoints in buildings that have doors to them, and it's really nice to be able to noob tube the door or explode the door in any way. I haven't really been using noob tubes a lot, but exploding the door in any way and flinging it open. And in this game, if you really wanted to, you could have a noob tube and then 2 frag grenades with shrapnel, so then you can bust open a door with your noob tube and then toss 2 frags into a hardpoint. Maybe that's what it's used for. Maybe it doesn't need to be a good people killer. Maybe it's a utility. It's something to soften people up, something for you to get better at using, something for you to learn the arcs of, and then you can come up with some really good grenade spots. Maybe it's really good when it comes to maps like Piccadilly, where there's cars everywhere that are really good to explode in the opening rounds of the game. And a noob tube isn't something that rolls on the ground for a second and then people can throw back at you or avoid. You know, they will actually just die. The cars will just explode right off the bat. So this video has 3 layers. Why are the noob tubes so bad? Why would you have attachments in this game that's basically about attachments? And just have them be bad, you know? And then why have the RPG and shrapnel and C4s and frag grenades, and you know, why give us this nade spam and this explosive spam here, but not let the noob tubes be good over there? And then, what if the noob tube is just a utility that you can really get proficient with, and it's not meant to kill people outright? It's not supposed to be a killing machine. It's something you use to discombobulate your enemies and use in a tactical, more utility manner. So maybe that's what it is, and I'm just freaking out over nothing. But if I would say there's one small buff you could do to the noob tubes, don't have them negatively impact the gun at all. In fact, add a little bit of recoil control to them, and just do some stupid explanation for it. In the description, say the added weight of the grenade launcher helps reduce a minimal amount of recoil. At least then the noob tubes are kind of pointless, but at least they don't make my gun worse. Because right now, they sort of make my gun worse, and I'm not that into that. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this subject, about this topic down in the comment section below. I will see you when I see you, and I'm gonna go noob tube some people and see if I can get some gameplay for this godforsaken topic. See you when I see you. Goodbye.